Okay, what's up YouTube? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. What up, my homies? So it's been a while, and the only explanation I have for that, I just had no motivation, specifically just for YouTube, and I don't know why that is. This video is very requested on my TikTok page. I'm gonna be doing my face makeup today, so like my base routine, my skin. My skin is pretty clear as of late. Let's just jump right into this video. I'm gonna try and make this as informative as I can. I am not a certified makeup professional. I am not a professional by any means. This is just how I do my makeup. This is what works best for me. So let's just get right into it, because like, we don't want to chit chat for too long. So first things first, I already washed my face and put moisturizer on. You always want to do that before starting your base makeup, because when your skin is really moisturized, hydrated, and prepped for makeup, that's when it's gonna look its best. I do shave my face with face razors. I personally just think it makes my makeup look better because all the peach fuzz is gone. You know, you do you. A lot of people don't like shaving their face, which is completely fine. These are the two primers that I've been using. So the first one I always go in with is this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I only use one pump of that. Honestly, I don't know if these primers even do anything. I just like putting them on because I feel like they do something. I feel like primers don't really work in my opinion. I feel like prepping your skin is really important though. That could also be considered as priming your skin, however you want to look at it. I just spread it around my whole face. I always get it under my eyes. And I always make sure to get it really good on my nose, because my nose is a trouble area for me. If you don't know, I do have dry to regular skin. I don't use anything like special for my like dry skin. I just make sure to moisturize really well before starting my makeup, because you don't want to look flaky. Also, if your skin is dry and you're putting a lot of product on your skin, it can look really cakey, and you know, you obviously don't want that. The next thing I use is this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now I actually use this a lot, as you can see. I take this Morphe spatula and I just kind of scrape it out, and I put it right on my cheeks where I have the most pores. I just put it on my chin and on my forehead. The reason I put it on my forehead is because I have really bad creasing and like lines on my forehead. Don't know why. Maybe it's because I make a lot of expressions. I don't know. I kind of just like tap and massage it where need be. Honestly, don't know if this does anything. I just like putting it on. So that's about it for priming. So for my foundation, lately the only foundation I've been using is the Maybelline Super Stay 24 Hour. This is in the shade 118 Light Beige. But typically I take about 2 pumps. So I kind of just dot it on my skin. I do my skin in sections. So like I'll do this section and then this section, and then maybe my nose and then my forehead. I don't know why, I feel like it just makes my foundation look better. Could be a psychopath, I don't know. And I always use a damp beauty blender that has really nice coverage. It actually does match really well. I always go in with like a light layer of foundation, and then I like go in like areas like right here. I have a little bit of redness peeking through. You can't see it on camera really. And I always just go back in with foundation. I don't necessarily use concealer, because your girl doesn't own a concealer that's the same shade as my foundation. I only own like lighter concealers. I always blend it down my neck, because you don't want to have a bad foundation line. That's the last thing you want, honestly. And I always avoid my under eye area, just because you don't want to have like excess product built up when you put on your concealer. My nose just automatically got like 10 times bigger. I always could put a good amount of foundation on my forehead, because I do have a lot of acne scars on my forehead. I always avoid my lid area, because I always do my eyebrows after I finish my face, and then I carve them with concealer. And if I already have foundation on my lids and I already set it, it's gonna be really hard to blend out the concealer once I carve my eyebrows with it. So for concealer, I always get this question, and I switch between 3 concealers. These are really the only 3 concealers I ever use. So I'll either use Tarte Shape Tape, tried and true. Good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This is so bomb, and it's super similar to Tarte Shape Tape. And then I also like the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I have 3 Colourpop ones. They're all different shades. I also have 3 Loreal ones, 3 Tarte Shape Tape. You're probably like, Cameron, isn't that like really excessive? Yes. I also have 3 Maybelline Superstays, but they're all different colors. All of my concealers are different colors. Like, I don't have 3 of the same color concealer. Today, I'll be using the L'Oreal Full Wear. I have the shade 345 Oatmeal. And so what I'll do is I'll just put it under my eye. I always put a lot on my forehead because, again, I need a lot of coverage there, and concealer is always the thing that like covers everything. I always do my chin because I always have some kind of like pimple or something on my chin. I always do my nose as well because, again, I always have a pimple on my nose or something. And you're probably like, Cameron, that is a lot of concealer. And you know what? That is very true. Honestly, concealer isn't the thing that makes me cakey. Probably the thing that makes me cakey is either foundation or my powder. So concealer is never really the reason if I ever do look cakey. And I just wet my sponge a little more with this Smart Badiscu spray. I just blend away, basically. You always want to make sure that your sponge isn't too damp because it won't disperse the product correctly, and it'll just like make your makeup kind of like more liquidy. I don't know if that's like a thing, but I swear it is. Pat out my concealer, and before I do my under eyes, I always like to get my powder ready, just so like once I blend my under eyes, I can just put the powder on right away instead of sitting there like trying to get it out of the thing. This is honestly the only powder that I really truly love, and I always go back to. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Okay, so I got some in the cap. I will blend out. Also, if you do leave your concealer for a couple of seconds, it will kind of like thicken it and like give it more coverage. When you blend out something that's super liquidy, it's probably not gonna have as much coverage as if something's like a little bit more thick, you know? But obviously don't wait for it to like almost dry because then it won't blend out very well. I dip my sponge into the powder and I always blow off the excess. But I always go in with really thin layers under my eyes because it can, if you go in with too much powder at once, it can make it look very cakey and like really dry. And then I set my forehead next because that's like, other than my under eyes, that's where I get the most creasing. So sometimes I like to lift like my forehead to like get all the creases out and then set it. I just set the rest of my face with a light amount of powder. Just don't go super powder crazy. Start with a light amount or start with a thin layer and then kind of build up, because if you go in with too much, it's gonna be a disaster and you're gonna look crepey and cakey and like not good. I always go down my neck because you don't want it to be tacky. That's like a no-no. I love how I'm explaining all this like I'm a professional when really this is just like really what works for me. Then I will spray my face and I use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. One of the reasons I really like this is because it's like a continuous mist and it doesn't give you like water droplets. It gives you like a really fine, like even amount of setting spray. So I'll spray my face heavily in the center too, because that's where it gets cakey for me. And then I'll just go back in with my sponge and just pat it down. And I swear, if you've never tried this, this will change your makeup game. Is just like really spraying and like hydrating your face in between your makeup steps is what's really gonna like make it look super smooth. So I always just pat it with my sponge. I have a friend that this doesn't work for, like she pats it with her sponge and it like takes her foundation off. I don't know if like, I'm pretty sure she also has dry skin, so I don't know why that happens to her, but I don't drench my face and then pat it because that will take your foundation off, that will take your powder off, that will make it not look good. So I just recommend spraying a little bit, patting, maybe spraying a little bit more, patting. Don't like drench your face and then go in with a sponge because it will take the product off. Like, trust me, you don't want to do that. So sometimes I'll do this a couple times and this will make you look less powdery too. I really wish you could see my skin like really HD and up close, but I don't have like a camera. I'm filming on my phone. Obviously you want to let your face set for a second before you do like bronzer and like blush, highlight, stuff like that. So the bronzing brush I use is actually by Equate Beauty, and it's this multi-purpose brush. It was literally like $3, and it's like the perfect bronzer brush. So the bronzer I use is the Fenty Beauty Sun Stalkr bronzer. I have the shade Shady Biz. As you can see, I am a big fan of it. I cannot explain to you how much I love this bronzer. Like, look. I just go really light-handed at first, and it's literally never patchy. Like, I have never had patchiness with this bronzer, and I've always struggled with patchiness with bronzer, like, ever since I started makeup. I'm like a person that will go overboard with the bronzer just because, like, I'm pale, and I don't want to look that pale, you know? And I always, like, heavily bronze my forehead, too. I don't know why, it's just always been a thing with me. And I've started to, like, bronze my jawline a little bit and kind of bring it down. I always use this brush to, like, bronze up my nose. This is, like, a Besto brush from, like, Amazon. And I just go... I use bronzer to contour my nose. I'm sorry. See, look how like more defined that just made my nose. The camera's making my nose look still really wide, but I mean my phone, because we're poor here on this channel. And then I always take a little bronzer under my bottom lip. I'm gonna wipe the foundation off my lips. Oh, she has lips. And then I just use Carmex. So now I'm gonna put blush on. This is the only blush that I have been using for the past, I wanna say like 4 or 5 months. This is the Rimmel Maxi blush in the shade Sweet Cheeks. And this is the Morphe E4. I always try to keep it on the backs of my cheeks, but that never ends up happening. I always just like go too crazy with the blush. I put it on my nose sometimes, it just depends. But I always put like a good amount of blush on. So sometimes I contour, like sometimes I don't know how to contour. Like, I really don't know. I can do it on other people, but I cannot do it on myself because where are my cheekbones? Where? Why does that look muddy? It's not muddy. I'll use like this M530, which I used to use this as bronzer, but I realized it was a little too small. This is the NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt contour highlight and then like a shimmer highlighting shade. I have the fair one, and I always put like the littlest amount on my brush, and I kind of just like go right here where I'm supposed to have cheekbones. You know, I don't know if it does anything. I don't do too much because then I really will look muddy. And sometimes I'll go in with a little bit of the contouring powder on my nose. I always spray my face again. My sponge again. And while my face is tacky, I take my highlighter. This is the Y14 by Morphe and Jeffree Star Peach Goddess. And I highlight. Oh shoot, she be blinded. Well, normally I use Anastasia Amorisi because it's like more gold, but I'm just feeling Jeffree Star today. This is the E36 by Morphe. This is what I use to highlight the tip of my nose and down the bridge of my nose. And I always like to highlight right here. I don't know why. It's just like one of my favorite places to highlight. Bring it on my chin if I don't have any pimples on my chin, which I have a little bit, but it's fine. Cupid's bow. I'm not a huge fan of highlighting the Cupid's bow, but to each their own. After I do my highlighter, I will spray my face again, but I won't pat it. I'll just do that to make the highlighter settle into my skin a little bit more. I need a new Morphe setting spray. So this is my steps to my flawless foundation. I look a little insane right now because I don't have my eyebrows done and I have not done my eyes. So I'm gonna go do that off camera. I will be back. Okay, I'm back. So I will have all the details of the rest of my makeup down below, including all of the things that I used in this video. Real quick, I do want to mention the lashes I'm wearing. These are by BeRad Cosmetics. I follow them on Instagram. This is the style I Have a Thing for Drama. They were so kind into sending me a bunch of lashes. They also have this eyelash adhesive remover, which is honestly really super cool. If you ask me, you guys should definitely try it out. No, this video is not sponsored. They're not sponsoring this video. I just really love their eyelashes. They do have like more natural ones, which I'm not a huge fan of natural lashes to begin with, but I do love those natural lashes. Like, I've been wearing them the past couple weeks and I actually really love them. They're really pretty. Just wanted to mention that brand real quick. They're super sweet. Go check them out. I do want to have a little chat before I finish this video about face makeup and everything like that. If you feel discouraged and your makeup doesn't come out flawless or doesn't come out like super smooth, please do not be discouraged. Like, I've been so discouraged with my makeup before, and honestly, the key to having a really nice base is take your time. Take your time doing your makeup, because if you rush through all of that, it is not gonna look as good as it could be. So I just recommend take your time. If you do want to look really good for somewhere you're going and you want your face makeup to look snatched, I would recommend giving yourself enough time to be able to, you know, do the steps properly. My makeup does not look always flawless as it may look online. Everybody's makeup looks better in the camera, like taking selfies and stuff. It takes a while to perfect the way you like your makeup, and it takes a while to get it down, really. Having texture is not the same as being cakey. Like, I do have texture, like I definitely have texture, but that doesn't mean my makeup is cakey. I will have all my social media links down below. Hopefully this helped you a little bit. If it at least helps one person, I am thankful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!